Are they going to get the penalty, no penalty, no other options? You don't have that? Okay. Okay.
I mean, it can still be set up, but right now.
Okay.
Penalty paid, no penalty.
For a late pass or, okay,
Charging students for the amount.
For a late pass?
They're charging them $1 every time they get issued a temporary ID card. That's what the school district does.
It's a parameter, so if you decide to have it, make a call.
Yeah, and so, and what you would do is just, click here. Okay, we'll see here, here's the box right here. Once you double click on the actual student's name, you get these options, okay? Obviously, if you choose not to charge the students, you pick penalty unpaid, okay? And then, because this isn't live, this probably isn't going to work. It's,
Penalty paid, so let's see if we can get through and make sure it's working.
okay. And so you see here, temporary ID card prints out, okay? Had the student been late, okay, a late pass would have printed. Now, to put this kiosk in late mode is very simple.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
If the student is in the system as well, photo shows up on that?
Photo should show up, yeah. First couple of days, you're going to be a little,
No, I understand that, but
Okay, that's gonna
once
be a little
we're
rough for you.
running smooth,
yeah, that picture should come. Matter of fact, you'll see the picture here, because as the kids are swiping in, well, you won't see it here, but for the students who you put in, okay, again, you would see the picture, but you're going to be a little slow the first couple of days of school. All right, so when you want to put this in late mode, all you do is click here. Now, you have the option to have the actual late pass print, or if you click it again, okay, no paper. What happened in the school district, we have certain schools say, hey, we don't want to waste the paper, so we don't want to have a whole bunch of kids getting late passes. They didn't have it. Some schools want the late passes, some schools don't. Again, that becomes a local policy, okay? My job is to show you one way or the other. Now, if this device were not on the network, okay, as I explained earlier, very important that it's on the network when you boot up to upload fresh information to the computer, you would see a red light, okay? A little red button would be here indicating that it's not on the network, okay? And I mean, that's really it, but a couple of things I want to show you. There are two counters. You probably didn't see it a minute ago. There's two counters on here. There's one here in blue, and then there's another that comes up in red, all right? When this is sending data, okay, it doesn't constantly stream it out. What it does is it waits 2 or 3 minutes, okay, and then it sends it out in a batch. In that 2 or 3 minute period, maybe 15, 16 kids came through the door. What'll happen is after that 2 or 3 minute period, it's going to push that data out, and that red counter is going to disappear, okay? Just like it did here. It uploads it. Now, here's the situation. If you see that red upload counter, okay, is steadily incrementing and the number is staying just like this, you got a problem because the data is not reaching the main computer, and therefore the people who try to log on to what we call the management site, they're not going to see your attendance data. So that's when you just, kind of do a little bit of troubleshooting. A lot of times it's simply a matter that it's not plugged into the network jack, or it could be a bad cable, or it could be your school's network is down, but typically it's because something is wrong with the network connection, okay? And you want to stop, and whatever troubleshooting step Al puts in for you, those is what you go through. However, continue to allow the students to log in because the information will be saved on the computer, all right? Don't stop just because you see there's a problem. Let that information continue to be captured, and then once the network comes up, it will be moved out. So now when you're ready to close the station, all right, you want to make sure there's no records ready to be uploaded, okay? You want to make sure that red counter is gone. When you go to shut this down, all right, you have to make sure this thing goes through a complete shutdown before you unplug it. These computers, unlike laptops, do not have an internal battery. When we first started using these particular type of stations with the separate processor, we were having all kinds of problems when people would bring them up the next morning saying, database is corrupted, it wasn't seeing stuff, blah, blah, blah. But what we found out, what people were doing is they would start the shutdown process, and because they were used to having a laptop with a battery, they would unplug it, okay? But because these don't have an internal battery, you unplug it, you're going to crash the system and you're going to corrupt the, some of the information in here. So when you press this button, because this is the button you're going to use to shut it down, which is, you know, a little more convenient than sticking your finger back there. For those of you who weren't here when we first booted this up, there's a separate, the processor for this is just a little box about that big that's bolted onto this shelf. And to turn it on, there's a button that has to be pressed in there. But when it's time for you to shut it down, all you have to do is just click on that, answer the question, power off the kiosk, okay? And it's going to go ahead and shut down. When the screen is black, okay, that means the system is shut down. Now you can unplug it, put it back in storage, move it to a different location, or whatever your procedures call for. Okay? Any questions? It's pretty automated. Yes, ma'am?
No, you did a good job explaining that, but for the late procedure, when you clicked on the